Hey guys, welcome back to After the Island. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Emily with us today. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to see you. Emily is one of our recent Islanders exiting the island from Love Island USA Season 5 that we're on right now. It's cooking up to be an amazing season. We cannot wait to hear from Emily today, and we're going to have a quick word to hear from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/aftertheisland and get on your way to being your best self. Therapy is an amazing thing. It can benefit so many different people. You know, you don't have to be going through something traumatic to need therapy. I think it can just be an unbiased, like, third-party opinion sometimes, just to kind of get your head clear, have someone to vent to, and just, you know, keep your mental health great. Another awesome thing about BetterHelp is that it's affordable and you can switch therapists at any time that you might need to. And it's all online. They're all licensed professionals. And we've done it. We love it. We highly recommend it. So let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/aftertheisland today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/aftertheisland. All right, let's get into it.
We're so excited to meet you.
So excited. I was like,
I'm excited. I have so much to say. I finally watched
I know. I feel like I was trying not to read that too fast because, you know, I don't want to do that, but I'm like just so excited to talk to you, and I feel like we have so many things we want to ask you about your time.
I got a lot to say, okay?
Good. Okay. First up, how did you end up on the show? Did you apply? Were you scouted?
So literally the day after I was broken up with, my friend was she is obsessed with the show, and she's like, here, bench. And she sent me the link, and I was like, okay, fine. And you never think it's gonna be you. And so I was just replying to all the things, and then they called me the next morning and they're like, we're obsessed with you. And I was like, oh shit, really? And ever since then I'm like, oh yeah, I was just so my expectations were so low. I was like, I'm just gonna be me. And then they're like, oh, you're funny. I was like, okay, cool.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Great, you know, FU to the X.
Yeah, he's probably
oh, trust me, I know. I was like, at Lola Bank, I was like, that is a win.
What is that? No, that is.
And even on top of that, you were coupled up with the most beautiful man ever, Harrison. That it's just,
I mean,
whammy after whammy.
It just worked.
I mean, I honestly almost feel bad for my ex. How sad to have to be my ex.
I know he has to see your face everywhere. It's amazing.
It's truly terrible for the poor guy. I feel for him, but that's what I can get.
Yeah, you know.
So going in, did you know you were going to come in as a bombshell?
No, I thought I just have more of the personality than I mean, I know I look really good, whatever, but I thought my personality was gonna be what stood out more. And so I thought oh, for sure they're gonna put me in as one of the first girls. And so when I wasn't, I was kind of relieved because I really didn't want to have to do the standing there and picking things.
Yeah,
that stresses me the fuck out. So the bombshell, I knew I wasn't gonna be a Costa girl. I just felt it in my bones. Yeah. But I'm not mad at the bombshell things. I think I did really well. I knew I could I could go in there and just kind of get what I wanted anyway. So I'm mad at it.
Yeah, you did a great job. If you were one of the starting girls, who would you have coupled up with out of the starting?
I'm so glad I wasn't a starting girl because I would have coupled up with Marco. And now knowing because I went in full blown I want Marco, and knowing him now no.
Why do you say that?
We're just not compatible. He's, I mean this in the least mean way possible, but he's kind of obnoxious. You know what I mean? He's just has more, yeah. He's just has an obnoxious personality, and I thought that's what I wanted, and then now knowing that Harrison is what I ended up with, I'm oh, okay, so I needed that to balance me out, you know, because I'm obnoxious.
I want to know all about you and Harrison. Are you guys gonna stay together? Or I know not together, but are you gonna keep talking?
They're still coupled up. They're still sleeping in a bed together.
Yeah, I fucking wish. we just like have kept it very real with each other. Like I think that's why we mesh so well is because we're so realistic. And so like we like getting out, it's like we knew if being exclusive was just not what either of us want immediately. Like that's just ridiculous. I've known this man a week. And then also like
That's so
he lives in
true.
Australia right now, so that would just be dumb. But like we're still in communication, we're still texting, we like FaceTime and stuff. So like and he's coming soon. So like we're planning on seeing each other, but like I'm not like putting all my eggs in his basket because like that's just stupid. You know?
I
Mhm.
love the Love Island lingo
I know.
outside of the villas still being used. It's no, it's funny because it's the hardest adjustment.
Yeah. I'm like, Mom, do we have a chat?
Oh my gosh.
Harrison and I are coupled up, so we'll be sleeping
In
in
a
a
bed
bed
together.
and we're gonna put all the beds in one room.
It's so weird because like I was like, why do we talk like that? And then you get in there, the first thing you say is like, do you want to have a chat? Like you really do just it clips. So weird.
Oh my gosh. If you were still there, are there any of the Casa Boys that you would have been interested in? Oh,
Oh yeah. I did think I would. And like I was like, I'm done with the show, like I'm not gonna watch it. And then like I went on like live on TikTok yesterday and they're like, you should like look at these guys, these two guys. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I watched like this snippet and I was like drooling. So Mattia for sure. Like I love a tattooed, like big tattooed man. Like he's fine. And then what's the other one? He's not wrong. He's got that personality.
Man.
I knew you were gonna say
Yes.
I knew you were
Big
gonna
Sam.
say
I
it.
knew it.
I liked him. I liked him because he's like, he's got something about him that's just like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could see. I said I would totally fall for his act,
Oh.
whatever he's doing. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the slimiest act ever?
Yes.
You
Would
you
not
can tell he's like,
tolerate.
yeah, he's like an undercover slut. Like he doesn't feel like he would be, but he's definitely a slut.
Wait, okay, speaking of your TikTok
Yes.
live, we were live yesterday doing like our episode, and the chat was just like popping off. Everyone was like, Emily was dishing it all on her live.
I was.
give
give it to
us the
us.
tea.
Yeah.
I think
Where
that,
do I start?
yeah, I don't know because they were just asked because I don't shut up. So that's why I feel like also like I got robbed in the show because I was like, how did I come out looking boring? I don't really know. So I feel like if you have a question, I just can't shut up. I'm going to answer it. So I was just going on. And I think the biggest piece of like what I really wanted to clarify on my live was like Destiny and I don't hate each other. So like I'm
think
getting like,
I didn't think that.
I didn't either. And then I got out and they're like, oh, it's a feud. Oh my goodness. Like, so I was just like, I don't understand where this is coming from. So I wanted to clarify on that. And then like, I don't know, just like things that I don't even remember what I fucking talked about. Like I just was going off.
I could tell you what we saw in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you thought maybe Hannah and Harrison were like playing a game and that they would kind of encourage people to maybe like explore other options or other connections, and they would kind of like nudge people to get to know.
Okay, but this is the thing. I think out of all people, they're the two people I know the least. So like I
Oh,
also
really?
think strategically, maybe it makes sense that they're not exploring outside because that's good for their couple. And like if they were to strategically have a plan, they'd be doing really well by not like exploring other people. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
out of all people, I could see them doing it than anybody else. Like, because like everyone else there, I feel like is pretty impulsive and like they just act like normal people in that way where it's like, oh, I like her. I'm going to talk to her. Like, sorry. But them too, it's kind of like they're quiet and they're more in like the shadows and like they're not like acting on any feelings really. So it's like maybe they're just really reserved and they really are like happy and cool. But like, of all people, I see it.
The way I read them on screen is that like they really do like each other, but Hannah is just so smart
Mhm.
that it's like hard to not believe part of it has to
Yeah.
be strategic, but it's just because she
Yeah.
is so freaking smart. Like she just
And I
sees
just,
years beyond.
yeah, and her and I just were never like super close. Like we got along really well, but like she's like the last person that I would go to for any like issues I was having or like if I needed any like advice. Like me and her just weren't on that level. So it's I feel like it's kind of, maybe it is unfair for me to say that, but it's just kind of, I just don't know her that well.
That's fair. Okay, were you shocked coming out when you saw like everyone shitting on Carmen online?
What is that?
Oh, really?
Singing Carmen. I love Carmen so much. So when I saw that, I was like, leave Carmen alone. Like, I'm pissed. Because she's genuinely like, she's a real ass bitch. So I'm like, what the hell?
I think it was more like the Bergie
The Bergie
situation.
stuff, yeah.
Okay, the
everyone
Bergie
wrong.
situation. People like are obsessed with defending people so much so that it's like, you're the bad guy. But it's like, okay, but there's feelings involved. You're not a reality show. That you don't remember you're on a show. You're not your best self all the time. Tired.
Mhm.
You're emotionally exhausted. Like, God forbid you handle something poorly. Like, I don't think that was a reflection of her character at all. Like, I think she's proved herself to be a really good person after that in life. I don't know if he made like a terrible decision because she didn't want to be with someone. Like, what the hell? I don't know.
So the other speculations aside from that is that her and Kenzo knew each other previously.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off with that. I hate this shit because the internet thinks that they know everything.
I'm
Mhm.
like, the internet is us.
Okay, because
Okay.
okay, so when I was in there, like, Kenzo and I were really close because we came in together.
Right.
And so, like, he would tell me, like, I don't think that they're that good of actors to be able to play this off every second of the day.
say
Like,
that.
I don't. And also, like, wouldn't you think that they'd hide it better? Like, it's so stupid to me. No, they don't know each other. And if they do, then, like, I'm going to be appalled because am I that dumb? I don't get it.
I honestly was thinking about it last night because I know it's such a divided topic, but it really doesn't matter. Sometimes it almost is better because you obviously went through it. We went through it. It is so awkward and like uncomfy going in with some people that you literally have absolutely nothing in common with. Like, what are you supposed to talk about?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is better if you know some.
Well, like, I mean, if I knew somebody, sure. But, like, I don't think that they do.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
the way I witnessed them, like, go from nothing to what they are now, like, I would be genuinely impressed if they actually knew each other and they were, like, able to pull this off. Because, like, I can't believe it. I wouldn't even believe it.
That would be wild. So you're watching the season. Well, actually, to you, who's the strongest couple in there?
Definitely Casa Amor changed a lot of shit for me because I haven't fully watched, but I've been in the know a little bit, and like people are commenting really terrible stuff about Keenan on my TikTok, and I'm like, what did he do?
Oh.
So I'm thinking that is Keenan fucking around? No. Okay. Well,
It's so bad. I'm like terrified.
okay.
To come out and see all the hate. Like it's.
What? Oh,
I
no.
mean, no one deserves bullying. Putting that out
Yeah,
there.
don't
No
bully
bullying.
Keenan.
No online.
He's in
bullying.
Long Island. Like,
However-
that's nothing I'm confused about.
Yeah.
Like,
However,
what is he supposed to do? So anyway,
yeah.
definitely not Kay Kay and Keenan just because of like, I feel like they've been pretty tumultuous just even before Casa. Like, I feel like they're just not on the same page. And like, I don't know their relationship that well because I know them each individually really well, but I don't know the relationship because they like to keep that really personal, which I love that, you know, but like the relationship itself, I don't know, but it doesn't come to mind as like the strongest. And I think it would definitely be Hannah and Marco at this point. Like, they're not fucking around.
Carmen and Kenzo seem pretty close too.
Yeah.
Carmen and Kenzo, I forgot about them. Yeah. They're like my favorite couple, but they're so new that I'm like,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
it's hard to like have as much of like I don't know. You don't see them as long lasting because like they just haven't been like the day one couples. It's like, oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, do you think Bergie is gonna find his match?
I mean, I sure hope so, but I don't trust those Costa bitches for a fucking second. Like, so not in Costa and more, unfortunately. Like, those girls are like vultures to get into that fucking villa. And I knew it because I was like, I can't be a Costa girl because I'm too nice. So like, to be a Costa girl, you gotta be real shady, I think. So unfortunately, I think she's probably gonna pick one of them and then they're just gonna fuck him over. But I hope not. I hope for his sake I'd hope not. And also for the girl's sake, because she can have it coming when she gets out. So,
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
You
is
got to
true.
tread lightly when you're around
This is true.
Bergie.
yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I want to go to when you got voted off. How did you feel in that moment? Did you have a feeling that it was going to be you or?
Want to know something really fucking embarrassing? Is when they were like deliberating, like girls, boys, who's gonna vote for who, and we were like they had like took us away from the scene, and like me and then the other bottom 4 girls were sitting in a room, and I'm like sitting across from Destiny. I'm like, this poor girl's going home tonight.
So sorry for this
Well,
woman.
yeah, it's sad because it's like I don't want her to go home, but she's going home. And then they're like, Emily, I'm like, who? Are you done? Now, the disbelief, I was beside myself. I instantly was like, I wanted to, when they said my name, I wanted to go the fuck off because personally, I think Harry and I leaving is the most unfair, unlogical thing to ever happen in the whole world ever. So, like, I think I tried to handle myself really well and they didn't show my little speech, but I was like, yeah, I'm confused, but I respect it. Like, gotta calm down because it pisses me off to like I've never been this pissed off in my life over anything. So I was
Really?
confused. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what guy were you thinking they were sending home then?
Well, so so the whole day, knowing that there was gonna be a dumping, like I was just like, oh, like either Bergie and Jonah, and then all the guys besides Mike's annoying ass voted for Destiny. And so I was like, okay, well, it was besides Mike, it was like unanimous they voted Destiny. So I'm thinking, regardless, Destiny's going home, and it was either Bergie or Jonah. And then as soon as Bergie and Jonah were not called for the final 4, like that's when my mind started putting shit together. And so I'm thinking like, okay, great. Like, well, if Harrison goes home, I'm screwed because like it's just gonna be really hard to find anyone that I like connected with as well. So my mind still was like, what am I gonna do without Harrison? Like my stupid ass was just sitting there like thinking. And then as soon as they like stood up like this, they also didn't show all the guys stood up and were like, well, they had not one valid reasoning as to why they picked me. And that's why I was like, okay, it's me. Like, fuck off, it's me. Because like they didn't want to send, I guess, like one of the original girls home is my reasoning, I guess. And so Mike finally stood up and said the most bullshit reason ever. And I was just like, okay, all right, I'm going to freak out. But I didn't. So
Good for you.
That is so interesting because I thought it was really between we were all like speculating because we really had no idea and sometimes it's pretty easy to tell. We thought it could possibly be you and Harrison or Carmen and Kenzo was that you guys were just like so comfortable with each other, but that also doesn't make sense because so is Marco and Hannah and so are
Marco and Hannah were like the only couple that never gave anyone else a chance. And so it's just like annoying because, and I also said this in my stupid little speech, I was just like, being comfortable that's a shitty excuse because I was here a week. I didn't have a chance to be like, oh, I want to get to know this guy because Mike came in and me and Mike I can't fucking stand Mike. So like there was nothing there for me and him. And so I was waiting for like Casa Amor or something next to happen because Harrison and I were so like on the same page about like, we're not exclusive. We're not closed off. Like we want to pick each other out of a million other people. And like, that's why we worked so well is because we both knew that we had something special. So go talk to her, go explore with her. I'll be here because I know I'm going to be picked. You know what I mean? Like that's what we had. So I was like comfortable. Okay.
I think also it was, at least from what I watched, at first, I didn't think you and Harrison liked each other at first. Like,
Me either.
because
they didn't show us having any genuine, we had like a good foundation to our relationship that was not shown. It just looks like we had no substance and we were just like hoarded up all the time and like just wanted to like hook up and like make out. And like every time someone would ask me about him, I would be like, oh, so hot. But in reality, I would be like, he treats me so well. He takes care of me. He does things for me that I never thought I'd ever have to ask. Like he does it for me. Like I talked so highly of him and then watching back and not seeing one like snippet of me saying an actual genuine thing about him. I'm like, well, no wonder people thought we were fucking boring and like sexual. Like I would too. We didn't have anything going for us on the show.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. It was just really like we didn't see anything besides what you were saying, but also I knew the minute we saw the clip of you guys intertwined, your leg was through his arm and his arm was like a part of you. It was such a cute thing, but I was like, oh, they really do like each other. Like,
No,
you
we were
just tell
always
from
like,
your-
no, we were always on top of each other. Like, there, and then watching back, I'm like, well, where are we even? Like, we were never not together, and like, we were never not like cuddled. And so, like, it makes perfect sense. I understand why people are like, oh, get out of here. But I'm in reality, I'm like, well, that's the man. So what the hell?
Okay, I
God.
want you to tell us more about Mike. What is the
Why is he
situation? Why do you
annoying?
guys not like each
Yeah.
other? Just because?
So, he just has something against me, this man. I don't know. Like,
Did you reject him?
no, like, I was like, when he came in, I was like, oh, he's cute, but like I could tell I wasn't one of his top picks. And like he didn't pursue me very heavily, but I was like, well, that's fine. Like I'm just gonna let him do his thing. And then whenever he gets around to me, like we'll just see where it goes. So then he finally pulled me for like a chat, and I could just tell he just was really into it. Like there was, but I was still interested because like he has such a different personality than all the other guys in there. I was like, oh, this is nice and new. And so I thought we could like also, because when I joke around, I can be kind of like mean. Like I like to like get roasted and stuff, you know? And so I thought like, oh, we could handle that. And it turns out it was just kind of a douche. So I don't know. I just think he would say, even Harrison would just be like, whenever he would be near me, he'd be like, say something rude. And I'd be like, okay, but we're not friends yet. So
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know.
just
And
a
then,
Timberline
yeah.
meme.
yeah, I'm like, well, okay, ouch. So I don't know. There's something about him, and it's like I literally love everyone. So if I don't like you, there's something else there. I don't know yet. I feel like kind of a bitch being like, I don't fuck with them, but I just don't fuck with them.
I'm
That-
gonna
I
look
mean,
out
that's
for it
fine.
now.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
I'm like,
And I think also,
Not everybody's gonna get along with everybody.
yeah, and I think also like I didn't respect the bombshell. There said it. Like he just didn't do any fucking bombshelling. He just
Yeah.
came in and was like, oh, well, what's up? And then like he told me like, oh, I can't ever talk to you. You're attached to Harrison's hip. I'm like, well, you're the bombshell. You're supposed to like do some like make me uncomfortable and like do something. Like
that
you
is
just,
a
like-
trend I see with these Love Island men. They do not make the first move. It has to be the girl. It's like Bumble. It has to be the girl, and it's so annoying because I feel
Yeah.
like it happens every season. The guys are there on a boys' holiday. They're like,
But it's like, what are you here for?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do something with yourself.
No, that is so true. That is such a good point.
It's such a good
because
point.
it always happens.
Does always
Pisses me
happen.
off.
And yeah, because I made every first move, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
You,
Like, I have
you
to
came in
every
so
guy.
strong.
Yeah, you did.
And then you got your man and you were like, peace.
Okay,
Then I was a background character, and then I left. So you know what?
wait.
You did exactly what you were supposed to do, okay?
I am having the funniest flashback of the challenge where the guys had to go up the water slide. And
Oh,
you did it twice. Because you did
Yeah.
it with Bergie the second.
that was so cringy. Yeah,
It was what?
it was so cringy. For Harrison, my standards were like through the roof. Like him and I were like, okay, we're gonna win. Like I was like, I'm gonna look for that bone, and you're gonna get up there, and we're gonna win. And like we had a whole game plan. And then to stand, it was also demeaning standing above him and just being like, oh, you know, and like watching him like,
give everyone the ick.
yeah, man, they did. And then same with Bergie. I was like, come on, Ryan.
Deep breath.
Yeah, like it was terrible because like she's supposed to be like a manly thing, and I was like,
Not a blindfolded man not being able to find something
That is the
in the
biggest ick.
water and to climb up a slide and can't.
you know. And then like when I compares to like Kenzo did it like the first time, and it's like, you know,
No, we even said we watched Kenzo do it and we were like, whoa, he's
He's
hot.
hot.
yeah, that's what everyone said. They're like, wow, why didn't realize how hot you were.
Until he climbed up the water slide.
Yeah. It changed like my perspective a little bit. I'm just kidding.
I forgot that you like made out with Bergie the first night you were there, right?
Oh yeah,
The
it
first
did.
time.
But it was good because it was my first makeout. I was like so excited to be there and just kiss anybody because I thought I was gonna be like making out with people left and right. And so I was like, oh, this is like my initiation. So it was exciting. And I was like so like kind of nervous that I don't really remember the details. I just
Yeah. Did you say that you wanted to get to know Bergie when you went in there?
Yeah,
Was that the
he
one?
was my first person. Him and Marco were like the two people that I was like going in for initially.
Okay.
I think Bergie, he's so vocal about like what he wants and like his future and how he's going to treat his wife. And it's like, oh, that's exactly what I want. It's just after that, the romantic part dwindles because it's like, okay, well, you got me here. You got to keep me here. And we didn't mesh in that aspect
Right.
much at all. And like, you have no time. So when you're there, you have to get going. And so I was like, I don't really have time to work something out.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. Well said.
Thanks.
I want to hear more about like KK, the Keenan situation. Like, obviously, you're seeing it now, but you saw her in the villa, like how invested she is in Keenan. Do you think she'll sway or like be able to, or no? Do you think she'll have to go home before she's able to like someone else there?
Yeah, my opinion has changed drastically over their like dynamic, which is weird because being there, you only see what's in front of your face. So it's like what I'm seeing, and I'm like very straightforward. So if like there's something you have to say, if you don't say it to me, then it's like, well, that doesn't exist until you say it to my face. Then it's like, that's not my problem. So with her, when I was pursuing Keenan, I was going pretty like full force for Keenan. Like I just really liked him. And so like with her, like to my face, she would be very like, she came off like very confident and she wasn't threatened. She wasn't bothered. And I loved it because I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about you. You're not insecure. You're not someone that's going to like, it was not like competition, but it was like an even play. Like it was like, okay, cool. Like I don't have to worry about you. And so like, I kind of didn't really like handle it the way I would have had I known now that she was crying and stuff. Like I would have definitely like took more time to like tell her like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to him, like, and just kind of try to be more respectful than I was because I just didn't think she gave it a crap. So I think back then I was like, oh, they're so strong, they're so solid. Like he was very respectful of her when I was like trying to talk to him. Like he kept like a boundary, which was really nice. And then to my face, she was very confident. And so I was like, oh, they're so strong. But knowing stuff that I know now about when I was there and then Casa and how I guess she felt when he was kind of trying to get to know Imani and stuff, I definitely don't see them the same anymore. And I think they're not really on the same page. I'm not sure where she's at, but I know where he's at. Like he obviously wants to get to know people. I just don't know. Maybe nobody else is doing it for her. I don't know. I don't really know my opinion, you know? Because people are like commenting on my thing and they're like, Keenan's awful. Do you hate Keenan so much? And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, he would be awful if he wasn't on Love Island, though.
Right.
Why are we on Love Island if we're not Love Islanding? And that's what makes me, because it's so ironic. That's why I left, because I got too comfortable. And I'm like, you're the most comfortable people I've ever met. You're not getting that from that fucking couch. Like, I think this season, honestly, was really underwhelming for me personally. I don't think anybody was, well, at least especially when I was in there, but nobody was really willing to mingle. So now I'm seeing it more in Casa more. I'm loving. But
I
like,
think that is
Casa
something
is
that
really
you fall
Casa.
into too.
Yeah.
well, that's what I thought, like, for sure Harris and I were safe, because I was like, at the end of the day, like, we're so comfortable and we are happy together, but we are willing to talk to other people. And I thought that was like the only thing that mattered. And so like getting sent home and being like, well, what the hell about you guys? Like, come on now. So
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm confused.
You make a really fair point.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah, and that's something that no one will ever hear at the end of for me is like, oh, fuck off with it. I can't. I have
I love
fucking
you for
kids.
being so
We
real
need-
about it,
We
though.
need like Emily's redemption tour.
No, seriously.
Please.
Would you
Get
think
me
about
back
coming
in
back?
Casa, please.
Yeah, would you go back?
Fuck yes, I'd go back. And I want personal revenge on every motherfucker that sent me.
Oh my god. I wish we saw more of you. I'm bummed.
I know.
I
I
didn't
know.
know that this existed in you.
I don't know why they made me so boring.
So what's next for you after this? Like, what are your plans?
Well, I don't know. I'm just chilling. I'm just hanging out.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, where can everyone find you online? drop all of your ats. This is your time. Everyone
Yeah.
follow Emily.
What are my ads? My TikTok is, what the hell is it?
We can
It's
also
Emily Elizabeth with 2 L's and 2 I's in both names.
Okay.
And then my Instagram is Emily Chavez with 2 I's, 2 L's, 2 Z's. So
Okay. We're on a trip
Love.
of 2. Okay, we got it.
yeah, I don't know why I chose like something simple, but
That's you know what? It happens.
Yeah.
Well, we had so much fun talking to you, and we can't wait to see what's next. Hopefully, we'll see you out here in LA so we can meet in person.
Yeah.
And anyone who is watching this video, like, comment, subscribe, leave any questions for Emily. We'll send them to her, and I'm sure she'll answer them. Thank you so much for watching.
thank you guys. It's so much fun.
That was so fun.